Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son. Alright? It's Brother Alazar Ben Lawyer.
Hakaga Wayam.
What we want to do is go into this hell topic, man. Okay? Because, it's now being a resurgence of Israelites teaching about hell has came out of nowhere. I guess this is the new heresy that is now becoming prominent. Is this hell thing is coming back up? Yeshaya on his recent videos with Sarnetta had made mention of it, and then as soon as he made mention of it, you had a group out of Houston, Texas, known as the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge that did a whole video on it. Now, and real quick, before we even go into it, a bulk of what they went into to prove this hell doctrine was in addition to the book of Second Ezra. Okay?
Right.
An addition. Now, I've been familiar with that addition for some time because I remember going back, people speaking about it, and I've been kind of dismayed about it, and then people coming to correct it, and I've looked into the history on it. This is an addition. A particular cracker in the 1800s added these verses in. A lot of verses. I want to say it was
like 30 or 40 verses.
Yeah, they added a whole lot of verses into Second Ezra, the second chapter,
seventh
chapter.
chapter.
There's a reason why I didn't make it into the King James canon. Okay.
Right.
And it's the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai didn't make it to that. So if you using that, you're not feeding our people the right food. You're not feeding the sheep properly, man.
Right.
You're feeding it GMOs, man. That's genetically modified crap, and that's killing the flock. We talking about on a spiritual and mental state. So if your doctrine is heavily relied upon by something like that, you should automatically know that it's bullshit. You see what I'm saying? A lot of what they use to prove their point were scriptures, loosely interpreted scriptures, and then mostly on that. So when a guy does that, you got to look at him some type of way, and we got to really deal with what the Bible is talking about. You see what I'm saying?
In its totality.
In this totality, the hell doctrine that there's a place where you go when you die and your spirit is tormented in flames and the devil is running it. That ideology is madness. It is Greek mythology, and anybody teaching that in Israel needs to purge that out or get purged out. As simple as that. Go ahead.
Right. So what we're gonna do to start it off is just address certain key scriptures that guys bring out to try to prove that there's a hell or fallen wicked angels and any nonsense and madness like that. All right. This is I'm gonna start at 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4. It says, "For if God spared not the angels that sinned."
That sin, right? It's an angel that, wait a minute. An angel that sinned. You got a GOCC member will tell you, well, look, brother, that's talking about the fallen angels. That's all this fallen angels talk. How can an angel sin? Let's find out. Let's find out if an angel can sin. Read.
Psalms 103 verse 20. Blessed be the Lord.
Blessed be Yahweh. Read.
Yea, his angels that excel in strength.
His angels excel in strength. Read.
That do his commandments.
The angels do his commandments. The angels do the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Most High Yahweh created his son Yahweh Shai and gave him charge over the angels. That's why he said, look, I can have 12 legions of angels come down right now if I wanted to. Why? Because the angels are at his charge. He was given command over the angels by the Most High Yahweh, the Heavenly Father. So angels do as they are told. Okay? You got 1 Kings?
No, I'm going to get that in a second.
Okay, well, go ahead.
This is 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin.
Whosoever committeth sin, read.
Transgresseth also the law.
Transgresseth the law, read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So we understand that sin is the transgression of the law. Now go ahead.
Back in 2 Peter 2 and 4. For if God spared not the angels that sinned.
So how is an angel going to sin? Angels keep the commandments. We just read that in the 103rd Psalm. So an angel does not sin. These angels are at the Lord's command and beck and call. Okay, read.
So that's talking about us.
Yeah, this is talking about us. The term angel means messenger. That's what it means. Matter of fact, when you deal with the word angel in the Hebrew, it's malak, which means what? King. You understand what I'm saying? So also, are we not kings? It says we're a nation of kings and priests. Are we not? Read.
Right. It's basically referring back to when we had our glory and our great stature at the time when we was giants. And it's going to further prove that precept upon
Well, yeah.
precept.
When you go into, do you got Genesis 6?
Everything.
Okay. So like, yeah, go ahead. We're gonna move through the spirit. Go ahead.
Right. It says, but cast them down to hell and deliver them into chains of darkness.
Hell, brother. We're in hell. See, hell is just spiritual. It's this place where you go. The devil. It sounds like a lot of Catholicism. It sounds like a lot of Greek mythology. As much as you try to put a spin on it and try to say it's not Catholicism and it's not Greek mythology, if you teach that or if you believe this, you are literally teaching Catholicism and Greek mythology. Period. And we're gonna prove it further. Read.
Right. The hell is talking about is one the low place on this earth that our people has through the chosen line of Adam on down.
Did it not say number one? Are we not? Does it not say in the book of Psalms that we walk through the valley of the shadow of death? What is a valley? It's a low place.
That's right.
Deal with the etymology of valley. Go back to the word veil. What does a veil do? It hides you.
Right.
A valley is hidden. It comes up. You might be walking through a highland, and then all of a sudden, unexpectedly, boom, it dips down. This is that low place. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Right. And if I can say this real quick, hell is just a condition, a state of mind, right? And it's also the grave.
Well, which they said that, but then they said it's other stuff too. But I mean, precept upon precept, that doesn't add up. And we're gonna poke holes in this whole hell is a place where your spirit is tormented ideology. Go ahead.
Right.
Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, of course. All right, but go ahead.
Right, I'm gonna read this again so I can get the precept. But cast them down to hell and deliver them into chains of darkness.
Into chains of darkness. Now, what is this hell, and what are these chains of darkness that these angels were cast into? We already went into how the angels do not sin, how we are angels. So the angels is talking about us, but what is this hell, and what are these chains of darkness that are restricting us in hell? Go ahead.
Right. This is the edification of the chains. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved.
What is an earthly house? Here's the thing. These brothers in their video, they brought this out. And I don't understand how they were trying to use it to justify their doctrine. But your earthly house, this is our body.
That's right.
What does the term body come from? Let's deal with the etymology of body. Abode. Where do you abode or abide? In your home. Your spirit abides in your body.
That's right.
This is our fleshly home. Read that again from the top.
For we know that if our earthly body, for we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle,
which is our flesh, the body that we're in, that's the earthly house. All right, read.
Were dissolved, we have a building of God, and house not made with hands.
So they think that they'll tell you that this means there's a heaven, that is heaven in the sense of a Christian sense. Yeah, there's a spiritual realm that is also known as heaven. The scriptures speak about heaven, even the heaven of heavens. Because you have the sky, you have outer space, and then you have another dimension, the spiritual world, right? Right, read.
Eternal in the heavens.
Yeah, that's the spiritual realm, read.
For in this we groan.
In this we groan, right, read.
Earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven.
You see that? So it says we groan earnestly because this physical, this earthly house we have is a chain unto us.
Right. Subject to,
go ahead. We're subject to sin. This is a weak flesh we have. Our flesh, like Paul speaks about in Romans the 7th chapter, our flesh and our spirit are in constant conflict with each other. All right? You see what I'm saying? That's why we're groaning at the wickedness that's dwelling within our flesh with the righteousness that we have in our spirit, desiring to be made totally righteous.
That's right.
So that's the everlasting change. This body we're in, this flesh that we're in, is a chain, man. This is a prison.
Prisoner to sin and subject to these diseases and premature death and all type of madness, man. These elements, you fucking up your skin, blemishes on your flesh, pain,
all of it. Man.
Stand out in the corner all day, get back pain, knee pain, and everything else,
straight up.
But
go ahead.
Verse 3. If so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked.
We shall not be found naked, right? Being clothed spiritually, man, okay, with the truth, right?
For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened.
We're burdened. What are we burdened with? This flesh.
Right.
This flesh is a chain on us, man.
That's
it's a burden to us, man. Our spirit seeks glory, man. The glory of heaven. Not glory like self-glorification, but glory of being in the kingdom of heaven. Glory with being saved and delivered by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is what our spirit is seeking.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But we got our flesh. Our flesh wants to sin. Our flesh wants to go off. Our flesh wants to suppress what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai wants to give to us. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's a chain to it. Because we understand that we're in this flesh, and the fact that we as a people are in this flesh, this is holding up the show, so to speak, right? But go ahead.
That's right. It says, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up for of life.
What is mortality? The word mortal literally means dead. You're a mortal man, you're mortal. Let's deal with the etymology of that. Goes back to the word mort. When something is mortified, it is killed. When rigor mortis sets into somebody's body, they're dead, their spirit left them. So this mortal, we putting away mortal for life, everlasting eternal life. Our body decays. From the moment we are born, our body begins to die. You understand that? Go ahead.
Back in the end of 2 Peter 2 and 4. To be reserved unto judgment.
To be reserved unto judgment. So they are. So we are here in these chains to be reserved unto judgment,
the ultimate,
which is
judgment day,
which is the second death.
That's right.
Either you're gonna get burnt up in a lake of fire, or you're gonna get delivered by Yahweh Shai and the angels who are empowered by the Most High Yahweh. Okay. But whatever you got.
Now I just want to make a point. Hit a couple scriptures. If there's angels that are supposed to be chained up, then why are they going and presenting themselves before the Most High?
Yeah, the angels that sin, wicked angels. Demons, so to speak. The Bible speaks about demons presenting themselves before the throne of Yahweh. It's right here. Starting at 21, I believe, or 20. Starting about the 20th verse. We've been bringing this out a lot.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 20. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, hold up.
Yeah, that's it right there.
I want to start at verse 19. Okay. I'm sorry. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne.
So he saw the Lord sitting on his throne, right? This prophet, right? This is the vision. He wasn't physically there, but he seen the vision. Right, read?
And all the host of heaven standing by him.
Meaning the angels, all the angels, right? Whether it be good, whether it be bad, all the angels standing in front of him, read?
Right, demons and righteous angels.
That's right.
It says, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left.
The righteous and the wicked, the good and the bad, okay, the good and the evil. Read.
And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner.
That's right, read. So they were given different ideas. This was a meeting. This was a conference call on how to do something in particular. It was a conference call, right? And the Most High Yahweh said, well, who's going to do what? And everybody starts raising their hand. Well, this is my idea. Well, this is my idea, right, read?
It says, and there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him.
He said, look, I got it, right, read?
And the Lord said unto him, wherewith?
He said, how you going to do it, read?
And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit.
I will be a lying spirit. So this is a wicked. Lying is evil, right? But this wicked spirit presented himself before Yahweh and said, I will be a lying spirit. Read.
A lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
In the mouth of the prophets. He's going to be a lying spirit. You understand what I'm saying? So these angels, even the wicked ones, present themselves before the Most High. So how are they in chains somewhere waiting to be judged?
That's right.
They're not. All right? They'll go before the throne of the Most High and do the Most High's work on the left-hand side.
That's right. That's a cut, man.
So what is this hell bullshit, all right? And excuse my French, but that's just what it is. It's baloney. It's hogwash, okay? You got to do away with that, all right? And it's a lot of guys. We're going to be doing more videos, Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, attacking these Christianisms that we still see lingering around Hebrew Israelites.
That's right.
Okay? And we're also going to attack these Judaisms we see also lingering around Hebrew Israelites. So a lot of you Old Testament guys, y'all acting real Jewish. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of you New Testament guys that believe in the Old New Testament, we believe in the Old New Testament, but certain of brothers that's believing in the Old and New Testament is acting real Christian.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? We got to break off from this demonic bullshit that's been presented to us in the world, and we're going to need to deal spiritually, precept upon precept, man. Okay? Because Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is not going to deliver Jewish niggas, and he's not going to deliver Christian niggas. He's going to deliver true Hebrew Israelites of the tabernacle of David of the Israel of God. Okay, go ahead.
Right.
The elect. All right, go ahead.
Psalms chapter 78, verse 49.
Uh-huh.
He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger,
Uh-huh.
wrath and indignation,
Uh-huh.
and trouble by sending evil angels among them.
Evil angels, an evil messenger sent among our people to do things. Not even amongst any people to do things. You know, but evil angels were sent to us. The white man was an evil angel that was sent to us. And it says that in the book of Revelations, this is something Yeshua got right. In the book of Revelations, when it talks about those who war in heaven and the devil and his angels is talking about his military men. Okay? That's why they say it's a fallen angel when one of these people get gunned down in Iraq or whatever. So he's right about that.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Because the word angel simply means messenger.
Right.
And they're giving the message. Go ahead.
That's right. And you know that Psalm 78 and 49 was just to prove, man, the evil angels are not in no damn chains, man. The angelic angels, you know,
Demons?
celestial,
Yeah,
celestial angels, okay? They're not in chains, man. They're out doing the Lord's work. Them angels that are in chains was us, how we fell from our first estate.
You looking at angels in chains. When you look yourself in the mirror, you looking at an angel in chains.
Right.
Okay, if you were Hebrew Israelite, but go ahead.
This is the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate.
They kept not their first estate. Our first estate was 1,000-year life. No premature death. No miscarriages, man. No getting gunned down. No heart attacks. No diabetes. None of that.
The head of the earth.
We was ruling the whole earth. That's our first estate.
Hey, dominion over the animals.
But you read, matter of fact, just go ahead. We're going to get the precept. I don't want to jump the gun.
Right. Now, it says, but left their own habitation.
Right, go ahead. Let's
okay.
on that.
Now, no, I'm going to reference Genesis real quick.
Okay, yeah, Genesis, because that's it. We left our first habitation. And that's what is being referenced in the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter. A lot of guys want to go to Genesis and start dealing with this Nephilim madness and all this mythology. That's the problem with our people. Our people love mythology. It's how I know you was the niggas in Greece. It's how I know y'all was the Hellenized Israelites. And I know that back in that time that Paul and the other apostles that was dealing with the Israelites that were in Greece were dealing with some of this madness where they were still trying to incorporate their Greek mythology in with the Bible. And y'all some of the same niggas as back today. Y'all got to repent from that. Read.
That's right. It's Genesis chapter 6, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth.
Right, read.
And daughters were born unto them.
Uh-huh.
That the sons of God.
The sons of God coming from the line of Seth, okay? Cain killed Abel. Adam and Eve got back together. Not got back. They was always together, but they laid down. They had Seth. We were called the sons of God, the descendants of Seth. This is prior to the flood, prior to Israel existed. Read. But the spirits were still there, and it came through the line of Seth. Read.
Saw the daughters of men that they were fair.
They saw the daughters and saw the women of the other nations.
Right.
And liked the way they looked. Right, read.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
They said, look, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. Right, read.
And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
Right, my spirit shall not always strive with man. Here's the key point about the first estate. He said his spirit shall not always strive with man. Read.
For that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
Our days were shortened. You had Methuselah living to be 969 years old.
Right.
But he said the days were shortened to 120 years. His spirit will no longer strive with man. That's us leaving our first estate.
Right.
Okay? Well, we have to live these lives. And then later on it was shortened down to 70. Okay,
right.
So if you live past 70 years, it was by strength, man. Go ahead.
Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days.
There were giants. That word giant, when you really deal with the etymology of that word, it means apostate. It means the fallen. The word Nephilim, when you go to the word Nepal, which is really Nephalium, when you go to the word Nepal, it means fallen, man. To fall.
Right, dealing with a stature, not in height, but like fame and popularity.
Yeah,
like,
those
are God's people.
Yeah, it don't mean you fell from heaven. This is what they go. It's the fallen. They fell from heaven. No, they fell out of the way of understanding, man. Okay, you brothers, all our people that are asleep right now, they're falling. They fell away from what the truth. Which I just did a video through the Spirit. I think it's called "There's Only One Immortal." There was only one immortal. I was addressing something IUIC said about being immortal in the kingdom. We're not going to be immortal in the kingdom. We're just going to live that for a day. And there was plenty of precepts that through the Spirit was covered there. But I kind of went into that. So if y'all want to get further edification on Genesis the 6th chapter, check that video out. There's only one immortal. We don't want to go on that too much now because it was covered in. We know we kind of just done with this whole hell concept. That was it on that?
Nah, it says
Go ahead.
It says and also after that there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
Men of renown, because they were God's people still, man. Okay, even though they were of the daughters of men, they were still men of renown because they were still of the seed of God, man. They were still the children of the Most High.
And you got that today, man, with a lot of mixed jakes out there, you know.
Derek Jeters, Blake Griffin,
right, Blake Griffin, you know, men of renown. That's basically looked at as gods in the eyes of these other nations, man.
Yeah, and Esau makes a lot of money off of these jakes, and they make money off of jakes that's still the full jake, but you got jake that don't even look like Israelites that are Israelites, actors, actresses, singers, all of that, man. And Esau makes their money off of that because we God's chosen people, man. That's what it boiled down to, irregardless. It's called the spirit. It's not about the flesh, it's about the spirit. But what we got?
This is Sirach chapter 16, verse 7. He was not pacified towards the old giants.
Pacified, right, Reed?
Who fell away.
They were the old giants, men of renown that fell away. Men of renown that basically left the truth. Left off from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua gave unto us.
Right, and causing them ultimately to come down from that stature that the Lord ordained us to be at.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
It says, who fell away in the strength of their own foolishness.
Their own foolishness. They fell away for being foolish, okay? From breaking off from being in the truth, breaking off from keeping the laws, okay? So that's what that's dealing with. It's not dealing with nothing sci-fi. It's not. It's actually quite simply there, put in the text. All right, you just have a problem reading the text, man. It's right there. Go ahead.
That's right. Back in Jude 1 and 6, he has reserved an everlasting chains. Same thing as saying in 2 Peter 4. Under darkness, which we went through the spirit, through the scriptures and precepts, the chains being these bodies, man. Under darkness unto the judgment of the great day.
And the darkness is this world that we gotta live in. This wickedness, this mentality that our people have, following foolishness, being in ignorance. You see what I'm saying? That's the darkness. All right.
Now another thing that they like to prove with hell, which I recently seen this in it's madness. They take the parable of Lazarus and Abraham's bosom.
Well, this is something that people do in the Christian church, and that's the thing, man. When we see guys that talk about that they're Hebrew Israelites and they start using the same things of people in the church, you gotta watch that. You hold on to a church doctrine right now by trying to misconstrue a parable. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And it was all
Yahushua spoke oftentimes parabolically because it was not given to them. Okay? And when you take this and run with it and make hell out of it, guess what? It clearly wasn't given to you either.
That's right.
So you might need to slow down so you can understand through the spirit what Yahushua, who the world intimately calls Christ, was talking about. Go ahead.
All right, this is going into the parable of Abraham's bosom. Luke chapter 16, I'm going to start at verse 14. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him. And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but the Most High knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of the Most High. You see, because that's why he started, that's why he presented the parable of Abraham's bosom, talking about the rich man, because they thought that being rich and wealthy and healthy and accepted of men meant that the Most High was with them and that they were righteous.
They supposed gain was godly.
Right. I'm going to go to...
So we got to start there to start to get the context of why Yahushua was speaking to and why Yahushua spoke this parable.
Right. All right, I'm going to start at verse 22. And it can't... Oh, no, I'm going to start at Salah. Verse 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in the purple and fine linen, the Pharisees, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, more the common folk of Israel that sincerely wanted to hear the word. It says, which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desiring to be fed with crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. Going into hell, man. This is the fucked up place that our people as a whole are in. Jake.
Yeah, and when it talks about the dogs coming to lick his sores, it's really just talking about, the different things Esau has, man. You see what I'm saying? Esau has set up that basically we could go to for help. Like if when Jake goes to get food stamps and things, different aid that Esau got set up, that's the dog licking his wounds. Licking his wounds, man, so we can understand.
Right. It says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried, right? So the Abraham's bosom representing basically inheriting the covenant promise to Abraham and getting deliverance out of this hell that's about to take place, this second death, basically. All right? Because it tells you in Matthew, the 25th chapter, I think, that the angels are going to gather the elect.
Yeah, God, the reapers.
Right, before the second death, the reapers. That's what it's talking about. It says, verse 23, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments. Right? Now, we all know, some of you brothers might know, some of you brothers might not know. This hell right here is referring to Hades. It does in the Greek. It's the word Hades, right? I think you pronounce it Hades.
Yeah, but Hades is I'm not judging.
And it doesn't say a place in the underworld where you burn forever, right? That's Greek mythology, like the brother was saying. It says,
yeah, that let's just come straight. That's foolishness to believe, man. That's a goddamn fable. Okay.
Right. Or now,
but real quick, I want to say something. And here's what we always have to keep in mind, right? When we deal with fables and when we deal with mythology, okay? I'm gonna tell you, during the periods of time in the world where our people predominantly work during different periods of time during the diaspora, mythology always blossomed during these periods of time. You know when Greek mythology blossomed? During the Hellenistic period. When we were getting Hellenized and we were going up into Greece and going after the Greekish customs, this is when Greek mythology hit its peak. During the time of the Dark Ages, while we was up in Europe ruling, that's when mythology in Europe hit its peak. Everywhere we go, that's where mythology peaks because our people love bullshit and fables, man. All right? Go ahead, bro.
All right, just quick precepts, just proving about the rich man and the poor man. This is Matthew chapter 19, verse 24. It says, and again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. And then this is James chapter 2, verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him. Now, back in Luke chapter 16, verse 24. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. Talking about that second death. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed. Okay, and
that's talking about basically like the 2/3, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The 2/3 versus the 1/3 in the elect, because the 2/3 are getting their reward here. You know what I'm saying? You see the sellouts of our people that parade around TV. They're filthy, rotten rich. Well, they're not filthy rich. They got some money. Esau gave them a consolation. You see what I'm saying? They sold out for that consolation from Esau. So what happens is the Most High God is saying, well, you know what? Hey, y'all got y'all reward. I'm giving this to the brothers that suffer for righteousness' sake. The brothers that turn down jobs because that job would conflict with them keeping the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, that for instance, right, Reed?
This is Luke chapter 18, verse 9. And he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they thought were righteous and despised others. Going back to the rich man, the Pharisees, man, who thought just because they were rich and so-called kept the laws and commandments that they were right in the sight of men and the Most High.
Prime example are some of these pastors, man, that you see up in these churches. that are stealing all the church's money, and they're riding around, parading around in the flyest cars, and they'll take a look at us who go on the street corners and wear these garments, and will ridicule us and call us bums and look down upon us. You know, Lord willing, if it's not us, then it'll be other brothers that do the same thing we do as far as preach on the street corners with the garments on that are going to get delivered, and he's going to be feeling stupid when that occurs. That's what I'm saying, but go ahead.
Hey, and a lot of guys, you know, within Israel, and it's truth, you know, it says who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. There's a lot of guys in this truth, they feel like they're on some type of level or they're righteous. They're already thinking they're of the elect.
Yeah,
they know they're the elect. And then they despise others and look down on them like they're holier than thou. It says, 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican standing afar off would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you this, the man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. All right?
Yeah, well, that's clear. You got some guys that get caught up on their own righteousness and not taking into consideration that, as the scriptures say, our righteousness is as filthy rags, man. Okay? They go get caught up on their own righteousness and they look down at the next brother, and guess what? The next brother realizing what he's doing or that he's sinned and actually just begging the Lord for mercy. You see what I'm saying? That man is more justified than one that trusts up in his own righteousness, man. Our righteousness is straight up as filthy rags, man. All right? You know, and we all working for the same penny, you know, which is the reward of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But go ahead.
Right. Just a precept on that gulf. What the gulf is symbolizing in Abraham's bosom parable. This is Revelation chapter 15, verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is lifted up the wrath of the Most High. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over the image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. So the elect, when they get delivered out of this lake of fire, which is America, and beamed up in these chariots that the chariots of the angels, they're gonna be hovering above this place, man. All right, in between that firmament.
You know, in the 2/3 is gonna be in that Gulf.
Right, in that Gulf.
Because the Gulf, you know, you got like the Gulf of Mexico. What's in the Gulf of Mexico? That's water. I was talking about that sea of fire. It's speaking about here in the scriptures. So when it's talking about a Gulf, that's what it's talking about. You see what I'm saying? The same thing as the lake of fire. You know, the sea mingled with fire mingled with glass. That's what it's in reference to.
That's right.
You got what I want to do. How many more scriptures you got?
I just a couple points on what they was making. What you want to
Okay, now get those, and then we're gonna go to these ones that we're gonna go to a few scriptures where the term hell is used that totally renders the theory that hell is some place where spirits get tormented and you go after you die, that renders it obsolete. We're gonna go to a few scriptures on that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai here in a second. Let this brother hit a couple more points. Go ahead.
Right. So they all this is a scripture that they use to say it's talking about Abraham's bosom, right? Because it's a place where the saints of old were waiting at until Yahweh Shai came and shed his blood, and a whole bunch of Christianized Israelites. This is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 18. For Yahweh Shai also has once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to the Most High, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison, right? Okay, now they say that's talking about he went to the Abraham's bosom, hell, preached to the saints down there.
First off, why would hell be called Abraham's bosom? Right? But go ahead.
And the spirits in prison represent us being in them chains still. But it's going to say that, right?
Yeah. We all in prison right now. Matter of fact,
prison's name is changed.
Get that, and there's a precept. Matter of fact, I'm gonna find it while you reading that. Go ahead.
It says, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison, which sometime were disobedient, when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is, 8 souls, were saved by water. So it says, Yahushua preached unto the spirits in prison, right? And then it talks, which sometimes were disobedient, when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, right? So basically, what that's saying, it's not talking about Abraham's bosom, man. It's talking about the same spirit, wicked ass niggas that were on the scene when Yahushua was on the earth was the same wicked ass niggas that was on the earth during the times of Noah, man. All right. So when you hit the precepts, then that's what that's talking about. It's not talking about Abraham's bosom. All right. Now, one thing he went to in Second Esdras, which he should have got the precept that's in Second Esdras. This is Second Esdras chapter 7, verse 56. It says, "For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death."
Real quick, I want to hit this precept in regards to what you saying about prison. Preach to the spirits that was in prison. This is Ecclesiastes 4:14. "For out of prison he cometh to reign." Out of the prison that the elect is in this flesh, under this devil, in this place, they're going to come to reign. Lord, will we be the men? Whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. All right, but yeah.
That's heavy. This is back in Second Ezra chapter 7, verse 56. "For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death."
You know, we shall begin to suffer for it after death, right? So they go to that and they say, well, that means, see, when you die, your spirit goes up to the spiritual realm, and then you get put in hell, and the devil torments you with flames. You see what I'm saying? Which is total conjecture. It's a lot of conjecture and deceit through one's own vain opinion and emotion that we're seeing take place in Israel right now. Okay? And we got to cut that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You see, we got daggers on our shirts, right? It's to cut that bullshit with the Bible. That's how we do it. It's our sword, let's say, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Read.
Right, and that's just talking about when you come back through the reincarnation. It's going to say it in the same book. All right, Second Ezra chapter 14, verse 35. "For after death shall the judgment come."
The judgment is going to come after death, right? Read.
"When we shall live again."
When we shall live again. Okay? Because you go to the spirit world, right? And then you come back down and live your judgment out.
Hey, he's telling you after death you're going to live again. But you're saying after death you suffer for eternity in hell with some red nigga with a pitchfork, man.
What type of madness is
that? That is clear cut through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
That's right.
It says, "And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared."
Exactly. It's all going to happen when you live again. It all has to play out here on earth. This is where everything plays out. You got that, Ecclesiastes?
Yeah, I'm about to get that
right
now.
Ahead. That's the spirit. Because that's what comes right next. Where do we live again? Where do you live out your judgment? Let's see what the Bible... That's why you got to go precept upon precept. Don't go into the editions of Second Ezra, the 7th chapter that some cracker came up with in the 1800s, my man.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, you see a little, you know, the Lord said, "Have there be evil in the city," roughly paraphrasing, "and the Lord have not done it."
That's right.
You catch a little girl catch a stray bullet. She did something in her past life. Nigga born a crippled. Did something.
That's all I was ever about the cripples, guys born with Down syndrome. This is judgment, man, coming from on high, man.
From your past life, man.
This is what happens, man. Okay?
And you keep your lot, too. So if you was a wicked nigga in your past life, you gonna be a wicked nigga, 2/3 nigga.
Yeah, 2/3 always gonna be a 2/3. Right. Because Ezekiel speak about the 2/3 and how the 2/3 got judged in 70 AD. Speak about that in Ezekiel. So it's always been the 2/3 of the 1/3 and the elect, always. That's right. Well, that's why the Bible say the elect since before the world began. But go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. "And moreover, I saw under the sun."
Under the sun, read.
"The place of judgment."
So you're gonna live out your judgment under the sun. That means here on earth. You go to the spirit realm. Your spirit gets cycled back into a body, an earthly house. And what happens? You live out your judgment, let's say, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, under the sun here on earth. Read.
"That wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there."
You see that? This is where the judgment happens. You commit wickedness, your spirit goes up, you come back, you live. You gotta look that up. Go ahead.
Same chapter, verse 21. Who knoweth the spirit of a man that goeth upward?
Goeth upward, read.
And the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth.
Exactly. So a man's spirit goeth upward, and the Most High sends it right back down here to deal with his judgment.
Right. Hey, you say the spirit go up, man. It don't go down to hell or whatever you niggas talking about.
Or see, it goes up, but see, when it goes up, it's a place, a prison. Like the Most High just got some prison somewhere. First off, we're in Israel when Israel was righteous. Show me a precedent for Israel having a prison where it sent criminals to. That was never our custom. If you broke a law, you either had to pay a debt, you had to die, you had to get lashed. It was immediate repercussion.
That's right.
For breaking of laws.
Right.
We didn't deal with prisons.
Yeah, perfect laws.
You feel me? The Most High don't deal with a prison house. That's some damn... Man, that prison house, man, that stuff is off, man. And it's wicked, man. You know, let a dude pay his restitution or let him die, man. And just deal with it like that. Most High ain't putting niggas in prison, man. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Right, and you know, it's just madness that in 2015 niggas are still coming with this bogus doctrine, right? Now, if there's a hell, right, why in so many scriptures in the Bible is it talking about reincarnation? We just brought it out, 2 Ezra 14:35, when you live again after death. It says in Ecclesiastes, spirit goes up, come back down for your next life. The place of judgment being on earth.
That's right.
Even Matthew chapter 11 verse 14, just knowing that the Bible speaks on reincarnation is a definite hell debunker.
That's right.
Period. All right. This is Matthew 11 and 14. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come.
So Yahushua said Elias or Elijah was going to come again. And he came in the form of John the Baptist in the time when Yahushua was on the scene, proving reincarnation. Reincarnation is clearly and explicitly spoke about in the Bible. So if reincarnation is in the Bible, where are these spirits getting a chance to go to hell if they got to replenish the earth every few generations, 3 to 4 generations as it's written? Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 28. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto ye, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration.
In the regeneration, in reincarnation, when you are regenerated, when you come back in the flesh, read.
When the Son
black in the flesh, right? Read.
When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory.
You see that? So he said the regeneration. So he's speaking to his apostles and his disciples. And he said, look, in the regeneration, y'all going to sit with me when I'm on the throne. That means Yahushua didn't come sit on his throne. Him sitting on his throne is coming in the last day. So he said, in the regeneration, I'm going to go sit on my throne. Y'all are going to be regenerated with me. Meaning y'all are going to be born again. Y'all are going to be delivered from the destruction through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And then y'all are going to sit on thrones because y'all are going to be the elect. Okay, go ahead.
It says, what happened?
I don't know. Hold on 1 second. All right, go ahead. Nah, let's be going.
All right, cool. It says, ye also shall ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So he's saying, not now. This is going to happen in the regeneration. In a future lifetime, in the last days when I come back, which Lord willing is soon, they're going to do that. Whoever the 12 disciples will be and whoever are the elected through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Read.
Daniel chapter 12 verse 13. But go thou thy way until the end be. For thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days.
You shall rest and stand at thy lot in the end of days. Letting Daniel know, look, you gonna go to sleep with the fathers. You will come back in the last days, and you're going to have your lot as a prophet of Yahweh Shem.
That's right.
You see beautiful.
That? All right. Now, this is last but not least. This is Revelation chapter 10, verse 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again.
Thou must. He said unto John the Revelator, you going to prophesy again. Read.
Right. And he was old and dying. He died on the island of Patmos.
That's
in
right.
prison, man.
In the salt mines. Read.
Again, before many peoples.
Well, he said he going to prophesy before many people. This motherfucker was on the island. How he going to prophesy again before many peoples? Read.
And nations and tongues and kings.
And kings. He was going to prophesy. How was he going to do that? Because the Lord was having him to come back here in these last days.
That's right.
And whoever John the Revelator is, he more than likely is on the streets preaching right now.
That's right.
Okay? Actively. You see? Because that's what the angel told. Was that the angel that was Yahweh speaking to him?
I think that was the angel.
Yeah, either one it was, it's painfully clear it came from the Most High God that he would prophesy again before many.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Now I want to hit these.
Yeah, whatever you got.
It's right here. Starting with Psalms 86 and what is that?
Okay.
13. Yeah, as long as you see exactly what it's right. Just hit those because all these scriptures, they're just really plain and to the point scriptures that cripple this doctrine that your spirit goes somewhere into the spirit realm where you're tormented by the devil.
That's right.
Okay, that's madness. All right, don't feed these people. We're gonna start dealing with this food that's being fed to our people. You are feeding our people damn McDonald's, man, with this madness, man. We need our people to be eating that damn grass-fed, free-range chicken and beef and,
that's
good
right.
vegetables, man. That's what our people need. That good spiritual nourishment, man. Not this bullshit, man. Go ahead,
Psalms 86:13. For great is thy mercy toward me.
Great is thy mercy toward me, read.
And thou hast delivered my soul from the lowest hell.
Wait, you have delivered my soul. So you mean to tell me that David, let's see who wrote this song.
David.
David. This is a psalm of David. So you mean to tell me David went to hell in the spiritual realm and the Lord just came and grabbed him out of there? Is that what happened? No. He was going through a tribulous time and the Lord delivered him out of that. You see what I'm saying? So we're not talking about no damn place. It's talking about a condition or it's talking about the grave.
That's right.
He was in a hellish condition, in a hellish state because he was going through straits, man. Right. You see what I'm saying? Let's understand that. Get to the next one.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 24. Verse 24.
14, I think. Is it 24?
No, it's 15. Verse 24.
No, verse 24. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. It says, the way of life is above to the wise.
Above to the wise, read.
That he may depart from hell beneath.
That he may. So you mean to tell me that when you're in hell, you could get some wisdom and depart from it? No.
Right.
Wisdom is what's going to get the elect out of this predicament that we're in. Right. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. That's why I say knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy time.
That's right.
Because through the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that Yahweh Shem Yahweh bestows upon the elect, they know what's potentially coming for them, which is deliverance. All right, only say potentially, not because deliverance is potentially going to come, but potentially because they could be potentially the elect. You don't know if you are or not. You see what I'm saying? But following the law, statutes, commandments shows wisdom, and through that wisdom, the showing of that wisdom, and having the faith, you will get delivered. That's what that's talking about, right? Go ahead.
Right. All you gotta do is go into your Greek or your Hebrew and look up the words, man. It's not talking about
this great place that's just raging, a raging inferno, Dante's Inferno, right? Go ahead.
Okay, Amos chapter 9, verse 2. Though they dig into hell.
Wait, so hell? I thought it's some place in the spirit realm. You go. How is motherfucker digging into it with a shovel? Explain that to me. Go ahead.
Then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
That's not talking about this spiritual place, man. Okay? All these things totally dismantle this ideology. So let it go. Purge it from you or get purged. Plain and simple. Where we at?
You said John. This is John.
No, that's Jonah. Jonah 2 and 2.
Okay.
Jonah. Yeah, Jonah. The book of Jonah. Let's go to the book of Jonah and see what Jonah, the state that Jonah was in, is likened to. Okay? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Gotta blow the dust off of Jonah.
Jonah chapter 2, verse 2. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord.
So Jonah cried to the Lord. Read.
And he heard me out of the belly of hell.
So is Jonah in this spiritual place getting tormented called hell? Or is Jonah in the belly of a fish? Okay?
That's right.
Let's ask ourselves that. Read.
Cried I, and thou heardest my voice.
So it's not talking about this hell. Is the Lord hearing the voices of the people he sent to that hell? According to y'all, he's not. So that's crazy.
Talking about you going to be in hell, you're going to be able to look at heaven. So that's what's going to make it all the more worse.
Like it's going to be a damn a bulletproof glass right there. You're just going to be looking at heaven, man. Damn, man, I wish I was there. I'm burning up right now. Man, let's be serious, man. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Revelation chapter 20, verse 14. and death,
death, read,
and hell,
and hell. So something's gonna happen to hell. What's gonna happen? Read.
were cast into the lake of fire.
Wait, hell was so if hell is a spiritual place where people are burning up this spiritual prison house. How is it then taken and then cast into the lake of fire, which we know Babylon, America, is going to be turned into? See, that doesn't add up, man. It's bullshit.
Right. So where's the lake of fire? If hell's going to be thrown into the lake of fire, then where's the lake of fire?
What is this place not going to get hit with ICBMs?
You see that? That's crazy, man. Y'all making it more confusing than Christian. Y'all making it more confusing than the Sikhs. Them Indian niggas, whatever they worship.
You know?
Okay.
Come up off that matter. This is why we said, man, it's time. 2015 is the time to lose these doctrines and just deal with the Bible. Stop holding on to doctrine. Just deal with the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
Plain and simple, man. Get rid of this bullshit. Purge them BS doctrines, man, and just stick to the script as the Lord commanded. Go ahead.
Right. Revelation chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see."
Come and see the fourth beast, right, read?
And I looked, and behold, a pale horse.
A pale horse, read?
And his name that sat on him was Death.
Death, read?
And hell followed with him.
And hell followed with him. So does that this place you mean? So there's literally a horseman. It's just riding around on his pale horse, and here come hell right behind him, just following in a caravan of hell. What the hell are you talking about, man?
No, it's saying that he's coming with mass death. With the so-called white man, since he's came into power, right. Hey man, he took peace from the earth, like the scriptures say, and made war with one another, killing his own people, killing their rape, robbing, and murdering everybody else, man.
That's right.
All right, now
that's what it's dealing with, man. Not dealing with some mythological place.
Now, lastly, I just want to pose a question. If there is a hell, because we know 2/3 of our people are wicked, right?
Right.
Now, if there's a hell, then how will all Israel be saved? Pursuing to Romans 11 and 26.
The Bible tells us all of Israel will ultimately be saved. We understand that through the loins of the elect and the 1/3, that the 2/3 of Israel will be repopulated in the kingdom. Okay? And that is how they'll be saved. Of course, they're going to have to see destruction on this side for their wickedness. Right? Go ahead.
Romans 11 and 26. And so all Israel shall be saved.
So all Israel shall be saved. It tells us right there, all of Israel are going to be saved. Now, if there's a hell, then people are telling us that the 2/3 are going to be burning up in some mythical place called hell in the spiritual realm. Now, look real quick. There's a dude, an ex-IUIC member, Joshua Issachar, I believe is his name, right? When I did the Only Immortal video, he did a response. And in his response, he went to Ezekiel 18 to try to say that the 2/3 spirit would be destroyed by the Most High. But again, it says all of Israel will be saved. Those doctrines, they don't add up, man. Okay, all of Israel. These 2/3, they're wicked. The Lord is going to judge them. He's going to destroy them in this place, but He's going to bring them back in their right mind and give them that fleshy heart. Okay, and put the law, statutes, commandments into their inward parts and into all of our inward parts in the kingdom, where we all will be saved and we all will reign over the heathen, man. That's in our different positions. Okay, but go ahead.
Isaiah 45 and 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
Israel shall be saved in the Lord. Read.
With an everlasting salvation.
An everlasting salvation. That's the kingdom that all Israelites will reign over all the heathens in. Now, every Israelite ain't going to be on the same level, but all Israelites will still be reigning over our enemies. Read.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
Israel is a world without end. So how are Israelite spirits going to be destroyed if we are a world without end?
That's right, brother.
That don't make no kind of sense. How are Israelite spirits going to be tormented in some mythological place called hell in a spiritual fire if we are a world without end? It doesn't add up, man. Get rid of these doctrines. Go ahead.
Now, the next question I would pose is, you know, these other nations are the wicked, you know. You got the sons of the righteous and sons of the wicked. Now, if the wicked ain't going to enter into the kingdom of heaven, they're going to go to hell, so to speak, is what you say, right? Now, where are we going to get our slaves from? Because it's prophesied in the Bible that we're going to put all those in captivity who put us into captivity in the kingdom of heaven.
How are we going to do that if they burning up in some spiritual flames, man? In the spiritual world. I mean, no goddamn sense. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse I'm gonna start at verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
So we're going to put in our own land, right? The 1/3 in the elect, and then we'll begin to be having babies and making the 2/3. Lord willing, we're going to be them men, read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of
Jacob.
Jacob.
Said there's going to be strangers with us. I thought they was going to be getting burnt up in hell, right? Go ahead.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Uh-huh.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord.
Who we going to possess if they in hell getting burnt up? Read.
For servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were.
I thought they were going to be burning somewhere. Where is that? How we got captives if they burn? Read.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
We going to rule over our oppressors. Those that are left here in America are going to get hit with missiles. But guess what? They're going to be reincarnated in the kingdom too, so they can serve out their sins as slaves under the Black, Hispanic, Native Indian. Okay? Where you at?
I'm last but not least. Who's gonna build up our kingdom? Because we ain't gonna be doing no work. Who's gonna build our kingdom and clean up all these dead bodies from everywhere after this second death?
We're talking about millions, potentially billions of people dying on the face of the planet Earth. Somebody gonna have to clean that shit up, and it's not gonna be no king or no priest that's ruling. I'm gonna tell you that. A king or a priest don't do that type of work.
That's right.
All right. The time of princes walking on the side of horses and servants sitting on the horses and being princesses is gonna be over upon the implementation of the kingdom of heaven through Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna go to Isaiah 60. I'm gonna hit 10, 12, and 14. It says, "And the sons of strangers,
other nations, Edomites, Moabites, Ammonites, Hamites, Japhites, read,
shall build up thy walls.
They're gonna build our kingdom, read,
and their king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have mercy on thee." He
smote us. He gonna smite 2/3 of us, but he gonna deliver the 1/3 in the elect and give us that salvation. You see what I'm saying? Well, what do we be? Are the men getting salvation? You know, we be a part of that. Read
verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
That's right. Well, shall perish. We gonna force these people to serve us. Okay, it's not speaking about hell, man. Okay, go ahead. Hell, whether it be above, because I'm thinking about they're explaining hell like it's a place. So like you go to the spiritual realm, and then there's some prison in the spiritual realm. You know, because I believe that's what Yeshaya was alluding to. But go ahead.
Those nations shall be utterly wasted. Verse 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee.
Well, how are they gonna come bending unto us if they're being tormented in hellfire? Make no kind of goddamn sense, man. Hellfire's gonna come through ICD and missiles, man. Okay, here in America and places abroad as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much it on that.
You know, but with that, stop teaching that bullshit. Let go of that doctrine. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and Shalom, man. Okay.